Insurance builds credibility, always assisting to manage risks seriously. Business leaders in the business world can be defined in a variety of forms. Talking Point is certainly privileged to speak to an awe-inspiring leader, none other than Dr. Jagath Alwis, the Executive Chairman of Ceylinco General Insurance Limited. Greetings to you.
Thank you very much.
The insurance industry is a nucleus of different types of key players operating in different types and spaces. What sort of strategies should be in place to accelerate revenues?
As you mentioned earlier, insurance is, finally we do risk management. And at Ceylinco Insurance, and we have to do that, we have various stakeholders like reinsurance and our staff and so many other agents, brokers. And our strategy which we have used is to reach the client. The client should be reached our company at very easy. And we have a network of about 500 branches. Some are just sales points where the clients could reach us. So basically with this business, the client should be able to reach us at his easy. And also the claim settlement we have using the system we introduced to Sri Lanka on the spot. And that has worked very well, where we will reach the scene of the accident within a couple of minutes. And that has helped us. So our strategy is basically focusing the customer and to make them easy to buy insurance and also to easy to claim an insurance claim. So this is the strategy, but today, the last few years, all insurance companies has to face a few issues like inflation, cost going up, and things like that. And also due to inflation, the prices, the values of the property insured is going up. So we'll have to communicate it correctly with the customers, explain them what will happen if they don't increase the values of their property. So that's a huge challenge. And in addition to that, in our view, settling that claim fast is how you could win the trust. And our strategy is to improve the claim settlement period. Now we are settling most of the claims on the same day, but we have to improve even further. So that's our basic strategy, which is working perfectly for Ceylinco to be the general insurance #1 in the market.
Insurance sector is fundamentally rooted in risk management. During a period of economic turbulence, how could this be manipulated so effectively?
Yeah, actually, as I mentioned earlier, it's the process of risk management. And the client, they transfer their risk to us, and we'll have to manage all risk accumulated in one place. So during the crisis period, there are a few things which could happen, like maybe there could be some fraudulent claims. So our trained are very well, the staff is very well trained to investigate for claims. But all these things, what we are doing, we'll do it within a couple of hours. We'll start it, and we'll do it fast. And that has helped us to build a name saying that Ceylinco is settling claim fast.
And also Ceylinco has also set a trend when it comes to customer loyalty.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, the customer loyalties depend on that, the trust. If you can maintain the trust, the customer loyalty will automatically comes in. And today we are operating with a market share of more than 20%. And even during the worst period of economy, we managed to maintain that. And that's something very, very important to win the trust of the customers, the loyalty.
Certainly. When it comes to demands and expectations of a business leader in a corporate world is set with high expectations. How should a CEO develop winning and brilliant strategies to develop organizational capabilities towards the core competencies?
Yes, actually, a CEO is the captain of the ship, but the CEO should not forget, and he's controlled by the controlling tower. The controlling tower is the board of directors, and then you have the regulators, and all your passengers are different stakeholders. So that's the responsibility of the captain. So in a situation like this, the captain has to work out the strategies with the board, within the guidelines provided by the board, and also within the regulatory framework. So regulatory framework is getting tougher during a crisis period, because the regulator wants every company to maintain as it is, and no company will have issues. So they'll make more rules and regulations, make it tougher. So in a scenario like that, it's a challenge of the CEO to use the work very closely with the board, the strategies which could change maybe in 3 months. You cannot have sometimes the long-term strategies. It could change from time to time very fast during a crisis period, and which has happened. And also the other thing is he should be able to understand the new technology and adapt the new technology. That is the key area. The technology is playing a major role in any business, and insurance is not an exception. So with that in mind, the CEO should support his team to develop new products. That's another. Innovation is a key area, because we have come to this level because of the innovation. Innovation is not only products, new products, maybe the processes. That's very important. You innovate the process to make it to settle claim fast. And what we have done in 2004 or 2003, and now it's followed by many companies. So as a result, the end customer get a better service, and end customer will have trust on companies saying that, okay, these people are settling claims. And very good example is the tsunami 2004. Companies settled their claims very fast, and then again we have a riot. So companies have kept their trust. They'll have to maintain the trust with the customers. So that's why I said initially the CEO with his team should develop a strategy where technology is used. You innovate products, innovate systems, processes, and that processes could be able to reach the customer very fast. So for example, now we have a process where somebody could buy an insurance policy through a mobile.
It's so convenient.
Yeah, so it's has come to that level. And the claims management, you could communicate with them, the 24-hour call centers and things like that. And we don't at Ceylinco, we don't believe in the machines talking to you. Thank you very much for calling, and we'll call you tomorrow morning. 24 hours our call centers are there. So anyone, anytime in the night, if you get a call, somebody will visit you, an engineer or somebody will visit the site. That has developed, that has changed the risk landscape of this country, which is accepted by many countries, and we won a couple of awards also for that, international awards. So this is what I'm telling, the trust. This is how to build the trust, and this is the CEO's major role. But importantly, the CEO has to work with the board, and CEO and chairman should have a very close relationship towards developing strategies and maybe even day-to-day operations.
We all talk about the island nation's economic crisis, but Doctor, what could you state when it comes to this leadership crisis?
Leadership crisis, what do you really mean by that?
as of now, we see a lot of brain draining in
Yes,
our
of
island
course, yeah,
nation.
I understand,
So I'm
yeah.
sure you have a supervisionary verdict with
Yeah.
regard to that.
In my opinion, the people should have right to work in the place they like. People should have right to migrate to any country. And when there's a crisis in the country, it's natural that young people particularly, they started migrating to different countries. So, but that's not the end of the story. But in the other hat I'm wearing is the running educational institution. So we are actually, one institution is, we are graduating around more than 5,000 students a year. And so we have to supply what you need to the market. And a lot of people are talking about the IT, there are big jobs outside Sri Lanka. But similarly, don't forget that there are so many Indian IT specialists, IT professionals are working in Sri Lanka. So it'd be a country like, one day a country like Singapore, there may be many nationalities working in the country. So that will, I like that culture, I mean, you have different cultures, different nationalities. So that's not, the migration is not the end of it, but a lot of people were migrated thinking that is a heaven, but they're starting coming back. They're talking about Sri Lanka. Whenever they get a holiday, they come back to Sri Lanka. But the problem is, whilst they are here during holidays, they have not visited other countries. So now, that's why they see other countries. But I think there's a crisis period. This is a temporary, and it's only we could change it. Nobody will come to change us, particularly the younger generation. And they have the power and the energy to change it. So I like if they don't migrate and work towards the development of the economy, but finally it's their choice.
But that is exactly what should happen too, isn't it,
Exactly,
Doctor?
yeah, exactly.
It's been given to understand that many excellent strategic thinkers and planners fall short when it comes to execution, particularly in employment management. What sort of a viewpoint do you share with regard to the same?
Yeah. But particularly in the both businesses we are in, education and insurance, it's the human capital is the most important thing. You may have money, but if you don't have the humans to run it, you can, somebody might say, okay, artificial intelligence will come and things like that, but it's the stakeholders, human capital or the staff is a major stakeholder. So unless you manage it properly and unless they work with you happily, there's no point having them. That's my philosophy. So we'll have to, as the leaders, we'll have to make sure the staff is happy. They will be happy not by paying a very high salary, the environment, the fellowship, and there are so many factors which the worker could be happy. And so I think it's the key area of the CEO to look after their staff and for them to think, okay, this is the best place I could work. And I'm very happy about it because a lot of people who have migrated to different countries and they're talking about us. So I had a lovely time at Ceylinco. I have a lovely time at one of our educational institutions. So that's the key area. So if we forget them, but that's the danger. I know during the COVID, we have not reduced any of our staff. We have not reduced their salaries. But we have reduced the allowances of the perks of the directors. But we make sure the staff is not affected. And even last year, I remember we paid an allowance for them, cost of living allowance, huge amount. So those are the things people appreciate, and looking after them during when they are sick. And now the Ceylinco Insurance have a scheme where even after you retire from the company, your health insurance policy will continue till you are about 70. So for a person who's retiring, health is the key area. So if you have somebody is paying for your health insurance, I think that's so. There are various methods of keeping your employees happy. They will give best of them to develop the company.
Certainly. Leadership can be challenging since a leader often has responsibilities and obligations beyond the narrow business sphere, especially when there is an economic crisis being experienced in a nation. How should the costs be cut to meet profit crunches?
Yeah, actually during this crisis period, the main problem we are facing is the cost going up, and the cost playing a major role in any business, whatever the business. And electricity bills have, I think, double, and it will double, even go further up. The water, the fuel, everything will go up. So it's the type of the strategies you have to take. Like for example, going for solar, for electricity. And you have to make sure that you control the cost. And that's the CFO's job actually, to monthly, weekly, daily, you have to control your cost. If you just leave it, how much the business you bring in, but your profits will be affected. So I think most of the CEOs are now, their key areas is looking into the cost control with the CFO. Even earlier we had, but now we'll have the concentration should be much more. And everybody in the office should understand we have to control the cost. Even a lowest level employee can do a big role in there. Switching off lights, switching off AC, things like that. So everybody should work towards, okay, we will drive towards reducing the cost. So that should come from the head. And once you understand that, everybody will support it. I think without that, you can't
move forward.
You can't move forward.
What an inspiring discussion, of course. There could be always innovative ideas, but igniting an innovative process takes certain forward-thinking business leaders' viewpoint. We were certainly in a very interesting conversation with Dr. Jagath Alwis, the Executive Chairman of Ceylinco General Insurance Limited. Thank you so much for connecting with Talking Point.
Thank you very much.